Good evening, everybody. This is our special meeting starting at 5:30. There's a need for an executive session this evening under CRS 24640224B for legal advice. The board will conference with an attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific matters. May I get a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Okay, we will move into executive session at 5:39. Good evening. Thank you for your patience. It is now 6:56, and we will call this meeting to order on Tuesday, March 10th. If you would please stand and join us for the pledge and a moment of silence. And I will take a moment to say that we had a board member, as all of you know that I work in DPS, and we had a former board member who passed away, Landry Taylor, and he was very well respected in the community, very kid-centered. So if you would keep his family in your thoughts during our moment of silence, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. Monica, can I get roll call, please?
Mrs. Hurtado?
Here.
Mrs. Lewis?
Here.
Mrs. Lovato?
Here.
Mrs. Quintana?
Here.
Mrs. Lewis?
Here.
And I'd like to welcome Ms. Quintana back. We missed you, and we're happy that you're with us, so thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I never thought I would miss this so much, but it was a part of my life, and I'm just glad I'm back. And thank everybody.
Thank you. Great. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes. May I get a motion for the approval of the January 14th, January 28th, February 11th, and February 25th, 2020 minutes?
All motions to approve the minutes for January 14th, January 28th, February 11th, February 25th, 2020 as presented.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Roll call, Miss Monica?
Mrs. Hurtado?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Lovato?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
So now I will get approval of the agenda. And I believe we're going to consider 5.3 separately. So if we could get an approval to amend the agenda minus 5.3, which we'll consider separately.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Monica?
Mrs. Hurtado?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Lovato?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And now could I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And roll call, Monica, please.
Mrs. Hurtado?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Lovato?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
So we have recognitions and celebrations, and I'd like to invite the DuPont Elementary Principal Brian Clark up to the podium. Hello, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. President Lewis, esteemed members of the board, Superintendent Rangel. I'm Brian Clark, your proud DuPont principal. And DuPont this evening would like to recognize Brianna and Cynthia, who are interns that are coming to us from Metro University in Denver. They're in the College of Social Work. And as you all know, we're here to meet the needs of our students, but no teacher or school team in and of itself can really meet all of those needs. And we, a couple years ago, reached out to Metro to partner with them to see if they had any people that were working in the College of Social Work that really wanted to come and support the students in our school. And we started that relationship last year and continued it this year. And we are just absolutely thrilled to have Cynthia and Brianna with us this year. They're working with our students in a number of different ways. First and foremost, they're a member of our care team, our mental health referral team. And that's with our Community Reach Center team and our social work and administration in the building, as well as with Mr. McGuire in the back there. And we receive mental health referrals from our teachers, and we sit and we problem solve together as a team to see how we can best meet the needs of our kids. So they're doing classes like with whole group classes with our students. They're pulling kids individually in groups during lunchtime, working on social skills, and just really being able to meet some of those real human needs that oftentimes get overlooked in the school system. And so from DuPont, we just want to say thank you so much for that spirit of service and dedication that you bring to our kids. They're also connected to our community here. They're completely bilingual. And so we just really thank you for all the work that you've done this year for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we have, do we have the certificates for them? Mhm. And we'll go down and take a photo. Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you and congratulations again. So the next item on our agenda is audience comments. And this evening we have Deborah Figueroa from Figueroa. Come on up.
Thank you. I can't help myself. Super mamas. I can't. I just can't. But that's with a lot of love and respect. Miss Connie, welcome back. I'm so excited to see you all. I took a picture of the super mamas. John Rangel, without disrespect, I did exclude you from the picture because it was like I wanted the 5 super mamas, a 5-woman board. We're historic. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Good evening, distinguished madams. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm just excited, and I just want to say thank you. Like from the bottom of my heart, the top of my heart, on behalf of myself as a professional, on behalf of my colleagues as professional, on behalf of my parents, on behalf of my students, I just want to say a super, thank you. It is with gratitude. I want you to understand I see and recognize. I feel so good that we have a step in real collaboration, and I'm just too excited, and I want to share that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really excited. Super Mamas, love it. Love the collaboration. Just tell us what you need, and we will do the best we can to support, is all we got. You either ask, and we say yes, or we say no, and we'll help. Either we can do it, or we can't do it. But I just want to say thank you sincerely, and I'm so happy to see the beautiful super mamas on the stage there. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is the consent agendas and consent items, I'm sorry. And I'm asking for a motion to approve items 1.1 through 5.2. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Madam President,
Yes, ma'am.
what about policy?
Policy.
We decided to go ahead with that. Yeah. So do I have a second on items 1.1, 5.2? Thank you. Monica, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hurtado?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Ms. Novato?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you. And our next agenda item is 5.3, the superintendent's recommendation for the approval of the 2020-2021 student calendars. May I have a motion, please?
I motion to approve the calendar as presented.
And second?
Second it.
And now we'll have some discussion. And who would like to open that discussion?
I will. I just wanted to thank everybody that worked really hard on putting this calendar together, especially the committee. I know that it took a lot of hours and that you did a really thorough job with getting it done. I also would like to thank the district for allowing the parents and staff to have some opinion in this process, and I hope that's something that we can really improve on and make that part of a normal process. I think that it's with this calendar, I know that it's essential that we have to get this done, but I also feel like we need to do add some things in place that really support families around calendars like this. I really hope that our future really allows us to look beyond the bell, especially in a community like ours that has a lot of working parents. So that's my thoughts.
To add to Regina's comment, I too would love to thank the committee. I know it took many, many hours, lots of collaboration, lots of work, as well as for the district for giving an opportunity for the parents and staff to give their feedback on both options. Again, my concern is the number of days that we're doing half-day releases and without any beyond the bell programs in place. What I've heard from the community and what I've read in the comments, that was the primary concern. So I would prefer the second option, but.
Mr. Rangel, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, just a couple of comments. So one of the things I want to recognize our new board for is a constant paying attention to what our community and our teachers would want and prefer. I agree with you that we do serve a community that when we have children on an early release, about what it is that a district can put in place with our community partners to begin taking a look at care after the bell, and that's something we certainly can look at. The other thing that I will probably direct our calendar committee to do is that we will go through a more robust process for input ahead of time to ask the very questions that this board asked, and put that out so that we get input more broadly for the calendar committee to consider, and we will do that. We will absolutely do that in the future.
Thank you. Maria,
You have to push the.
Maybe because I didn't have it on. Sorry. So I too want to recognize that, everybody who worked on this calendar committee, from staff to parents to everybody, put in a lot of thought, and it wasn't taken lightly as to how many days were half days. And it was that fine balance between what our staff needs for, professional development, as well as what our families need. And so It's very similar to what we had last year. Not much has changed. It's my microphone. It wasn't me. So not much has changed from last year. A lot of the days, I mean, obviously with the year, it turned a little bit different, but it's everybody tried really hard to balance it. So I want to recognize the work of everybody. And again, thank you to all the parents and everybody in the community who responded to this last minute request. And it was very interesting as far as our findings because it was almost an even split. So it didn't really help us to that point where we're like, yes, this is the clear choice. So just know that whatever choice we pick, we're considering everything and obviously don't take it as lightly because we know that it does impact the staff, it impacts parents, it impacts the community if we don't get this out soon. So thank you, everybody.
And just the one final comment, what Board Member Zubia is saying is that it is, when we get data back, and sometimes one of the things our board has been really clear about is that we oftentimes ask for input and then we don't get back to the community about how that input was used or how it came out. We were in a situation where one calendar option had 49.9% support and the second calendar option had 51.1% support. There was a 3-vote difference between the two calendars. And that's what the recommendation was based on.
Ms. Quintana, do you have anything to add?
Well, I wasn't here during that, but I think it was, it sounds like it was really organized very well because you had input from the community and from the staff. And at looking at it, it does appear to be as of last year. So it does seem like there's a lot of half days, but the teachers do need their professional development days. So looking at that, and so this set a template to me for next year's calendar that we could look at certain other aspects like not so many half days and set in place if we have them where the child care would come for the kids. When I was working, we had that in place through the 21st century. So maybe we could look at, again, somebody writing a grant for that. Because that's what we had. We had the 21st century grant, and that covered daycare before school and after school for the kids for these half days. So that's what I would like to say. I just think it was well-rounded the way it was set up.
Okay. And I do believe that we are going to look at getting the 21st century grant or put in for the 21st century grant. All right, so just for the audience, what we are voting on right now is the option that was in the packet that was recommended by the committee. And so if I could have, we already have a motion and a second. So Monica, could you please call the roll?
Mrs. Hurtado?
No.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Ms. Lovato?
No.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mrs. Zubia?
Aye.
So that motion passes to have the calendar that was in the packet.
And with that passing, I would just like to say that, Mr. Rango, next time we could look at the other resources for the kids, because that is a very big concern of mine is who's home with the kids.
I think that we should be able to work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So right now, we're moving into communications. And Board of Education members, last year for the 14er Fest Annual Gala, the board provided a $5,000 donation for the event. And at this level, the Board of Education members got a table to seat the 5 members as well as a guest. Are you in consensus of our sponsorship level for the annual 14er Fest at $5,000 this year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And we also have the Kids First Healthcare Biz Bash. In the past, when the Kids First Healthcare hosted fundraising dinners, the board purchased a table for the event. However, this year and last year, they did it a little differently. So last year, the board purchased a ticket for the members who expressed interest in attending the event. So may I get a consensus for our sponsorship level for the annual 14er Fest to do a ticket for those who are interested in attending?
I actually have to abstain from this conversation.
Thank you. Other
Yes.
board members?
We agree.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Before we go through the school and committee assignments, now that we have Ms. Zubia on the,
Can I get confirmation
How many?
on tickets?
If
yes,
anybody is attending.
23rd. I'll go to that.
Me too. Questionable.
Okay.
I abstained.
It's
Well,
two
are you
Thursdays in a
attending?
row.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I'm going to be
So
there. I feel
4
like this is
confirmed as of now, or 3?
3.
3 confirmed, 2.
I don't know yet.
tentative.
You'll let me know?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Or that's not right.
Yeah.
3-2.
So we do need to go through the school and committee assignments now that Ms. Zubia is seated with us. But before that, do board members have any communication they'd like to share?
I do. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I just wanted to recognize the Adams 14 Education Foundation. They've been doing really great things. They have the Funding the Unfunded grant, which has put a lot of colorful rugs and different seating and different things that our teachers need for their students. They also, one of their board members arranged for transits through First Transit to bring a group of high school seniors to the Contractor Deck Expo, which was right over here at the Deck's Superstore. Longtime family, Commerce City store, and they got an opportunity to get interest into the construction field and get scholarship information, and just wanted to tell everyone there thank you.
So I actually wanted to say thank you to ALSUP and DuPont, because they, through the foundation, they have the Commerce City Leadership class, and we were able to do a beautiful tour of their school, and kudos to all the kids. I still am very impressed. We had our guides were 2 of the students at DuPont, and they did a great job. I recommended they get extra of those dino bucks that they get. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you, and also thank you to all the parents in the community who have supported us by participating in these listening sessions or these parent meetings, and want to invite more folks to come out to those. I know we have some coming up. I don't have the calendar on me to be able to.
Tomorrow is say
Tomorrow's
the
Adams
date.
City High
Adams
School.
City High School.
Yes,
6
so
o'clock.
I just invite more people to participate in those. And once again, thank you. I know that all the staff has a lot on their plates, and just going through the schools and visiting with people, you could tell that things are coming around, and it's a good feeling to have to actually get positive feedback from our community. So thank you, everybody. Kudos to you.
Also groundbreaking.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
I would just like to say thank you to Ms. Menard and DuPont, Adams City Middle School, for allowing us to come in and tour your schools and see all the great things you guys are doing. I think it's even more impactful when you get to actually see it happening and see all their little smiles. And so that's really a privilege of doing this. I'm really super excited about Thursday, which is the groundbreaking for the new Allsup Elementary. I think the community is, absolutely excited, and I hope that it's very well attended, and it's such a big thing for our community and our kids. And poor Miss Menard is going to have about 12.6 million kids trying to enter that school in a year or so. But I'm really excited for it, and thank you for allowing us to come into your schools and be a part of them.
Ms. Quintana?
I'm just glad to be back. I can walk. Not going up steps yet. Well, I'm trying. and I'm attempting to go down the steps. And by next week, I will have conquered that. Just watch. So I'm glad to be back. It's kind of lonesome at home when, you know, you're used to doing things, and when suddenly you can't get up and walk to do those things, you never know until you don't have it. But I honestly think I grew a quarter of an inch. Honestly. And they told me that. And I didn't believe it, but with the first knee, when I stood in the shower, I could feel it was a little lopsided. And I thought, God, Connie, you're imagining this. But you know what? I put on a pair of shoes tonight that I wore before my legs were straight. And I told my husband, I've got to take these shoes off because my feet were going sideways, you know. So it does correct your legs. That's one thing they did tell me. So I know I grew another quarter of an inch. So that makes me 5'1" and 1/4. So pretty soon I might get up back to the 5'2". But it's great to be back. So, and see everybody's happy faces. I miss it. Especially Dr. Bull over there.
And I
and Jonathan.
I just wanted to say thank you to the staff and the staff here for the work that they did last night at Adams City Middle School. I have a grandson there, and so, you know, I was tuned into that, and it wasn't perfect, but we learned lessons from it, and hopefully that will help us going forward. So I just want to thank everybody who was involved in that, so thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go through the school and committee assignments, and that is somewhere.
I know, way in the back.
I don't have it. Oh, yeah. And Ms. Quintana, if you want to take some more too, you're welcome to do that.
Gosh.
So looking at the committee assignments, and it'd be helpful to also have some alternates for these as well, so we might want to think about that while we're doing this. The Adams 14 Education Foundation, Ms. Lovato, you have that.
I want to keep that, but
Okay.
I would love to have an alternate.
Okay.
Be the alternate.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that you?
Maria. Yes.
DAC is Mr. Tato.
I'll keep DAC.
Okay.
Can I be her alternative
Uh-huh.
On your her alternate?
on the deck? Alternative.
The alternate.
City Council is Ms. Lovato, and that's every Monday at 6:30. I can be the alternate for that because I'm there sometimes for the something.
You are a.
The urban renewal. Kids First Healthcare is mine, and so we need an alternate for that unless somebody wants to take it over. No alternate. Okay.
No
The
alternate?
meeting
No
times
alternate?
that are hard for me.
No.
I can't.
Okay. Legislative is myself. Any alternates for that?
When does this one
It
typically?
varies. I haven't gone to one yet.
So is it just once or twice a year?
It's during the legislative
CASB.
season, yeah. Oh, yeah, and for CASB also. There's a fall meeting for CASB.
Is it usually during the day?
Yes, it's usually on a Saturday, actually.
Oh.
The CASB meeting, correct, Monica? The
Yeah, it's-
legislative meeting is on a Saturday.
I could be the alternate to that
Okay.
one if you guys.
And I'll go back and I'll be the alternate for the Kids First.
Okay.
I can do alternate, I just can't be the primary.
Okay.
Okay.
And then area boards is Ms. Lovato.
I'd like to
And-
keep that as well,
Okay.
but alternative would be great.
I'll be the alternate.
Okay. And Mrs. Hurtado is our Rotary person, but I think she's having some difficulty with that, so if there anybody else
We
who
gave
will-
it to Maria.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that one, yes.
Did you get that, Monica?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm on the Commerce City Urban Renewal Authority, and they don't meet that many times, so I don't think we need an alternate for that. If somebody else wants it, let me know, but I'm happy to stay on that. It's interesting. And then the Urban Renewal Authority, I'm also on that since they kind of go hand in hand, so. Is that okay? All right, thank you. School assignments. So I have STARS, and I would like to keep that, and I'd like to keep Sandville. Next is ALSUP, and that's Miss Hurtado.
Keep.
Okay. Central, I also have that, and I'm happy to keep it or have somebody else take it over. Depends. Somebody else wants Central? No? Okay. DuPont, Miss Lovato.
I want to keep DuPont, please.
Bless you.
Hanson is Mrs. Quintana.
I'd like to keep it.
Kemp is Miss Lovato.
I haven't been able to get to camp yet, so if somebody has a really big interest, I'm happy to share.
Not yet.
No?
If not, I'll step up my game. I'll keep them. Okay.
Monaco is Miss Quintana.
I'll keep it.
Okay. Rose Hill, Mrs. Hurtado.
I'll keep.
Kearney is Mrs. Hurtado.
I'll keep.
Adams City Middle is Miss Lovato.
I'll keep that as well.
Adams City High School is Miss Lovato, and since it's so big, we might put two on that, so if you'd like to do that
I
one,
could do
Ms.
the high
Zubia?
school.
Okay,
And I'll do Lester. That's okay.
okay.
And can we do the same, or do you mind if I just join you on
No,
some
we could do
things?
the same.
Okay.
Okay.
I think there's a good tie-in with both of those.
So then we added Ms. Zubio to Adams City High School and Lester Arnold High School, and everything remains the same then. Okay?
Is there one that you prefer not to? Because I can take one, I just don't know which ones you guys all want to keep.
Yeah, well, I think with the changes with the leadership at the two high schools, I think it's good that we both.
good? Okay.
Yeah, because
All
there's
right.
a lot of work with both of
Okay,
them.
just wanted to make sure. It's
Okay.
not that I don't want to take them, I
Yeah,
just want to
me
know
either, and I don't want to.
which ones you guys have.
And that
so.
doesn't
Them,
preempt
yeah.
you from going to any of the
I know.
schools and visiting, so, yeah.
Thank you.
But it sounded like Central and Kemp.
I could do Central if you want. Is that the one, is that one of the
Oh, I
ones
thought we
that?
kept
That's
it.
mine, but we can do it together if
You
you'd
want to do
like.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I make one more comment before we dismiss?
Yes?
I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Rangel. I feel like for the first time in a very, very long time, our triangle kind of aligned. And meaning so that not only did he listen to the board, but he listened to the staff and to the community, especially regarding the resolution for the board supporting the rally on the 19th. So I'm really incredibly thankful that he took everybody's perspective, including the kids in the community. And I think that it was a huge success for the district. And I felt over the moon that day because it felt like such a day of unity. And it's something that we haven't felt for a very, very long time. And I'm very thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, I agree. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should
Oh, yeah.
read the resolution.
Do you want to read it?
Go ahead.
Or do you want somebody else? Go ahead. Me?
Yeah.
You find it?
This is
23.
So this is the resolution regarding March 19th, 2020 Day of Action. Whereas the Adams County School District 14 Board of Education values and supports public school educators and recognizes that educators play a critical role in fulfilling the board's vision that through engagement, collaboration, and mutual respect, the parents, teachers, administrators, and community partners of Adams 14 will create the academically rigorous and culturally diverse learning experiences needed to prepare students for success in college, career, and adulthood in safe performance level schools. And whereas the board finds that its vision depends on adequate and equitable funding for the K-12 public education system, but since at least 2010, the state has not contributed its share, reducing education funding by billions of dollars. And whereas the state's budget stabilization factor this year alone amounts to
$5,772 million.
That's a really big number.
It's a big number.
$572,396,894, of which the district was deprived $5,053,286.60 in state funding. And whereas the board finds that since 2010, when legislators reduced state funding to public schools, a Colorado student in the 10th grade has never experienced a fully funded public education system. And whereas the board finds that the state's budget stabilization factor has exacerbated a chronically underfunded public education system and continues to cause budget cuts in school districts across the state that negatively impact students, families, communities, and educators. And whereas the board recognizes that educators in the district want to participate in the March 19th, 2020 Day of Action to share their stories and firsthand accounts of how inadequate state resources and supports affect public school students on a daily basis. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Adams 14 Board of Education that the district will provide opportunities for its educators to advocate with the Colorado legislature for increased state funding for the public education system on the March 19th, 2020 Day of Action, adopted and approved this 10th day of March 2020. So, thank you. And with that, unless anybody has anything else, no? We will call this meeting closed at 7:33. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Do a coin toss, Monica.
Monica, roll call, please. Oh, a second, I'm sorry.
I'll second.
That one was an
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's what I thought too. Okay, second. So second was?
Second.
Okay, Mrs. Furtado. Roll call. Monica,
Mrs.
please.
Hurtado,
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis,
Aye.
Ms. Lovato,
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana,
Aye.
Mrs. Zubia.
Aye.
Thank you. So meeting adjourned. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.